Something that we might forget to think about when we study history is that, just like in the modern world, their sense of fashion and what they deem to be aesthetically pleasing or beautiful changed through the generations. I'm not an expert on fashion at all, so I'm not going to give you a detailed analysis on the evolution of their fashion sense. But I think everyone is conscious that what is acceptable today to wear, in the West, for example, and what was acceptable 100 years ago is completely different. If we were to go back in time and wear the clothing that we wore today back in their era, we probably wouldn't get lynched, hopefully, but we all know that we would get a lot of dirty looks. And that same idea applies to Roman society. It's a society that existed for over 1,000 years, so obviously there's going to be some cultural changes. And just like with contemporary fashion, the difference between what was and what wasn't acceptable to wear in the Roman era could change drastically in a few generations, honestly. And to prove my point, I'm going to use two famous Roman personalities, Julius Kaiser and Marcus Antonius. And just a reminder, I'm not making any of this up. I swear it's true. My history teacher told me. So for my first example, Julius, if you guys are like me, you're probably more comfortable with his anglicized name, Julius. So I'm going to keep using that one because it's way easier to pronounce. So Julius, conqueror of Gaul, for a time, intimidator of the Senate, and a huge womanizer, also wore a see-through toga that allowed people to see his pierced nipples. Yes, you heard that right. The mighty Julius Caesar walked around with a see-through shirt to show off his pierced nips. Now that we've established that Caesar was ready to fit right into a gay pride event, let's talk about his other buddy, Marcus Antonius. Now let's just cover his life real quick so that everyone knows who I'm talking about. Marcus Antonius was one of Caesar's top allies. He was serving under Caesar when Caesar was conquering Gaul. He was part of Caesar's government. After Caesar's assassination by the Senate, he then allied with two other allies of Caesar, formed an army to crush the Republican forces, defeating the Senate and establishing their control over the Roman Republic. After that, he led an army against Parthia, became the governor of Asia, and married Cleopatra. So yeah, he's kind of an important figure of his time, a good military officer, a manly man. Well, believe it or not, but Marcus loved to wear really short togas. And by that I mean that his togas always ended right under his butt cheek to make sure that everyone could see his well-toned muscular legs. Now I know what you're thinking. I'm thinking it too. I can't say it because I have a small channel and I'll probably get nuked. But yeah, those are the guys who took over Rome by force. One of them was wearing a see-through shirt to show off his pierced nipples, and the other one was wearing like an obscenely short miniskirt. So we can imagine the old school Roman elders in the Senate, the people who had served in the army, did everything by the book, who were like huge badasses in their time, and then they would look at like the new generation walking around half naked like a bunch of trannies or whatever, and they must have been like, Jesus Christ, what happened to this generation? What on earth could have went that wrong? But not only that, it gets way worse or way better depending on your view on things. So waging war against the Gaul took a long time to do. And Caesar lost a lot of troops, obviously. Now, good news for him, he was conquering a country that was extremely warlike, so he had a lot of potential recruits that he could enroll in his army. But Caesar wanted the Gauls to prove their loyalty to him and to Rome. So just for fun, I want you guys to try to guess what Caesar asked of his new Gaulish troops. What could he possibly ask of them to prove their loyalty to Rome and to himself, to show that they were serious about enrolling? I'll give you a hint. Think about what I said earlier about Caesar and what he wore. Now, right now, I would give almost anything to see you people's faces, because yes, that's exactly what you guys are thinking about. Caesar asked his new barbarian troops to get their nipples pierced, to show how loyal and sincere they were in joining in his army. Caesar was leading an army of big hairy barbarians with pierced nipples. And I just want to emphasize again that I'm not making any of this up. What I said is all true. Caesar, who we already established wore see-through togas to show off his pierced nips, led an army of big, mean, nasty barbarians with pierced nipples and used it to take power in Rome. And on top of that, one of his top generals was wearing an obscenely short miniskirt. I can hear the Roman senators like saying as they see what's going on, "Oh my god, Big Gay is marching on the capital, we lost." And yeah, that was the entire point of my video. No other reason, I just wanted you guys to know that Caesar and Marcus Aurelianus were really fucking gay.